Hey, folks, I have a huge announcement. A lot of my listeners here on the Patriot Angle podcast, along with my loyal listeners of the Patriot Unfiltered Nation here, have been asking me, Mike, you need a store. Well, your problems have been solved. We now have a storefront. Yes, the Patriot Angle podcast, with the help of some friends and others here on the Patriot Angle podcast, have developed and created a store. Yes, you can catch that store website on my Facebook page, the Patriot Angle podcast, as well as the merchandise being uploaded on Instagram. Check us out there on our social media platform, Facebook, and you can catch all of our current merchandise along with some really good hot selling merchandise on there. Guys, you got to check it out. The prices are not that bad. If you want to support this podcast and show your patriotic pride, you got to check out the merchandise. You got to check out the store. It's phenomenal, guys. Check it out today. Patriot Unfiltered store.
Rated mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Broadcasting from the Big Peach of Atlanta, Georgia. A show unfiltered, unscripted, raw. The Patriot Angle Podcast.
If you're struggling to lose weight, you've probably heard about weight loss medications like Wegovy or Zepbound, and you might be wondering if they're right for you. Meet PlushCare, a leading telehealth provider with doctors who are there for you day and night to partner with you in your weight loss journey. If you qualify, they can safely prescribe you medication from the comfort of your own home. To get started, visit plushcare.com/weightloss. That's plushcare.com/weightloss. plushcare.com/weightloss.
You know, we have roughly 350 million people vaccinated in the United States and billions around the world, and virtually no one's died because of that vaccination. As I said again and again, this is a pandemic of the unvaccinated. So we have to get more people vaccinated. I said, well over, what's the number again? I remind myself, 350 million Americans have already been vaccinated. They're doing fine.
Oh, they're doing fine, huh, Joe? Yeah, they're doing fine, huh, Joe? Yeah.
You know,
yeah. Turn him off. Turn him off. Turn him off. Don't want to hear it anymore. President Joe Biden falsely claimed at the White House just over the weekend, this past Friday, folks, that 350 million Americans have been vaccinated twice, bungling his statistics after looking at his notes. Yeah, he's tried to say, folks, that 350 million Americans have been vaccinated. Joe, that's like almost the entire country, right? I mean, give or take. It's kind of hard to tell how many legal Americans are in this country. If you're going by legal Americans, that's just about roughly a third of the population, right? Just about a third. Maybe, my math might be off, but that's give or take. So you're trying to tell me that well over a half of Americans are vaccinated. What numbers are you getting at, Joe? What numbers are you getting at? Then he looks at his notes after he said this over the weekend. Then he's like, oh, let me look at my notes. Oh, yeah, about 165 million Americans have been fully vaccinated, according to the latest numbers from the CDC. So he keeps on going back from different numbers. Like, he's blotching number of vaccinating Americans twice after looking at his notes. He goes from 350 million, then he says 165 million, then he's saying currently 349 million vaccine shots have been administered. What are you doing, Joe? Are you counting it twice? Are you taking the 165 plus another 165? That's like roughly like what, 349? Maybe my math is off, right? Let's add it up. Let's add it up and see exactly where he's getting his numbers at. You take 165 plus another 165. That's what, 320, 340, right? 340. So about 340, 349. So what is he like? He's doubling up the numbers twice. It doesn't make sense. It does not make one damn bit of sense. But according to the left, they're proud to stand by Joe Biden. He's doing such a great job. Such a great job. They'll do anything to have Joe Biden or some schmuck in the White House other than Donald Trump, according to leftist talk show host Whoopi Goldberg. Check this out, guys. Whoopi Goldberg is like, I'm proud I helped Biden win. We couldn't deal with 4 more years of Trump. Check this out. This was also Friday. They'll take anybody besides Donald Trump. That includes even having a senile dementia of a president in office. This is Whoopi Goldberg giving her view on The View, right?
And put country before party by backing President Biden, and now he would like her to represent America on the world stage as ambassador to the United Nations Food Agency. Please welcome back Ambassador Cindy McCain. I like saying that. And I think Sarah has the first question.
Well, welcome, Ambassador or Miss Cindy. It's hard to believe that today is Meghan's last show after almost 4 years. How are you feeling for her, and what do you think the future holds?
Oh, well, first of all, let me say I'm very pleased to be here. I'm not an ambassador yet because I have not been confirmed yet, but I will relish the title once I have it. Just to make that clear. But I am so proud of Meghan, and what I look forward to in many ways is to be able to see more of her and certainly see more of my granddaughter, Liberty. I think she's done a wonderful job. I love her independence. Her dad would be so proud of her, and I wish her the best in whatever endeavor she chooses to do. But I'm glad she chose a little bit of family over too much work right now. It's important.
Thank you, Mom.
Well, Cindy, Senator McCain really pushed for Meghan to take this job. Why was he so adamant, do you think, for her to do it? And what do you think he would be most proud of?
Well, he was adamant because he thought it would be a good format for her. And knowing, her, as you know, we used to call her John McCain in a dress when she was little. So we knew she could do it, and we knew she had the ability to make waves or, deal with controversy, all the things that you do so well on this show. And he also wanted her to have an opportunity to really express herself and spread her wings a little more. It was really his suggestion and his idea that she do this when offered the job. So I know he's very proud of her right now. I know he is.
Thanks, Mom. Okay. I didn't die. I'm just leaving the show. I feel like I died, and this is my memorial. Thank you, guys. I'm still here. You can come to D.C. and see me anytime.
Every time someone leaves, it sounds like a funeral. This is nothing new.
It sounds like a funeral.
I know. It always is like that. Don't pay any attention. So, Cindy, You famously crossed party lines and took a lot of heat to endorse Joe Biden for president back in 2020. Were you surprised by how much pushback you got, and how big a leap was it for you to put yourself out there like that? That must have been rough.
Well, for me, it was, I knew the other candidate was not right. I knew we couldn't deal with 4 more years of the other candidate.
Why?
And so for me, it was an easy
Please
decision.
explain why.
I knew what was right. And I was, in
what
my
is
mind
right?
and in my heart, I felt like I was doing what was right for the
Turn this. I'll go right back to it. She knew it was right for endorsing a then 77-year-old, out of touch, dementia, Alzheimer's of a president, right? Delusional, if that. But she knew it was right to endorse Joe Biden in 2020. Like you heard, what was it? Joy Bayer saying, "Oh, that must have been rough. That must have been rough to endorse Joe Biden there in 2020. Yeah, it must have been rough. You must have over-endured such a travesty, because God forbid we don't need 4 more years of Donald Trump, right? Check out this garbage. More garbage of The View.
Country, and I still believe that today. As far as taking heat, of course, I knew I was going to take heat. That was, there was no doubt that was going to happen. So
the whole country's taking heat because we got an idiot in office.
I'm just proud to have been some assistance to a man that I believe is a good president and is leading this country in the right direction and practices civility and honor and decency as he governs, and that's, to me, is most important.
Well, Mom, I'm so proud of you because President Biden has announced that he will nominate you as the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations Agencies for Food and Agriculture. Mm-hmm. How does that feel for you? I know how passionate you are.
Turn this garbage off. That's Cindy McCain, the spouse of the late Senator John McCain, saying that she knew it was right to endorse Joe Biden because he's steering this country in the right direction. Oh, he's steering this country in the right direction? Not for nothing. Why don't we ask The View and the guest, the special guest on their show, just what rightness he's doing to this country, how he's governing this country in the correct, mature way. He's steering this country in the right path. Oh, he is? He's steering this country in the right path. But is he literally securing our country, our border? Is he? No. Let me ask one question here before I take a break. Why is the Canadian border literally closed? Literally closed. The Canadian border is sealed shut. It's sealed. Right? For rightful reasons, maybe COVID, maybe they don't want to take high risk for their country, for some of our illegal immigrants in our country that we're getting from God knows where, hellholes of earth going into their country. It's sealed shut. Why is the Canadian border sealed shut and the Mexican-U.S. border wide the freak open? I need somebody to explain the difference there. Somebody explain that, please. Please. I mean, these are some of the questions that, you would even want to ask some of the people on, the leftist liberal talk show, The View. But will they ever answer it? No. Anybody but Donald Trump. God forbid, anybody but Donald Trump. This is coming from a leftist lunatic of talk show host, The View. They'll have anybody in the damn office. Even a dementia old man as a president that doesn't know one thing for the next, constantly has to be reminded where he's at, what he needs to be speaking about. He's got to ask questions from his handlers if he can even take the question. This is a national embarrassment as a president. But God forbid, The View, they won't agree. No, if Donald... Oh, no. Here's one thing. Donald Trump created so much good in this country. Economy at an all-time high. Our border security was secured, controlled, right? More jobs coming in this country. More jobs. Even previous President Barry Obama, right? Barack said that manufacturing jobs would never come into this country. Would never come into this country. Then Trump, I think Trump literally outshined him there. Literally outshined him there. Proved them wrong. Had jobs come right back into this country. Put tariffs on China and other countries that's been ripping us off for 50 plus years, that they deserve to have tariffs. Sure, you want to send products into the United States, you got to pay that tariff. You got to pay that tax. You got to pay that handling fee, that shipping fee. You have to pay it. Other presidents never even thought about it. President Trump, doing right for Americans. But people like The View, will they take credit for what he's done? Nope, they're flushing it right down the toilet and giving all the credit to Joe Biden. The old man that's in the office, the Oval Office there on Pennsylvania Avenue. They're giving all the credit to Joe Biden. Now remember, folks, this is coming from a president that got more votes than any president in the United States history. Yeah, even Barack Obama got more votes than Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, Ronald Reagan. This is the most popular president in modern day in American political history for president. Can you believe that? I can't believe it. I can't believe that this man got more votes than any other president in the United States history. I can't believe it. I don't want to believe it. I think it's bullshit. I think it's a scam. I think it's a national embarrassment, not only to our country, but it puts us on a weakness angle on the world stage. But this is coming from a leftist talk show like The View, right? More being said, guys. I'm going to take a quick little break, and I'll be right back after these words. Don't go anywhere. Patriot Unfiltered.
Google Fi, a phone plan by Google. With our privacy and security features, a built-in VPN protects you from hackers by keeping your connection encrypted and private. Features are easy to use and included with all 5 phone plans. Learn more today.
The bottle will now be granted one wish.
I wish for a great credit score.
As you wish. Just open Credit Sesame. With Credit Sesame, you get your free credit score, free credit monitoring, and tips to improve your score.
I wish for Credit Sesame.
Get your free credit score today.
It may seem hard to believe when you watch Hot Topics these days, but the current White House resident used to love to come on The View. He did. He appeared a total of 18 times. Wow. Check out his top 5 moments here on The View.
Number 5. I'll tell you who's mad. Donald Trump. Joy said the guy wears a tube.
He says that it's his own hair. So I believe him because I believe Donald. He's an upstanding American.
Yeah.
But America doesn't believe him. We've gotten, a letter poured in yesterday. Asking, is that really his hair?
Oh, my God.
Okay, you ready? Come on. Check it out.
No, it's true. It's real.
It's not very pretty, but it's real.
Number 4.
I've said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
Stop it. Oh, it's so weird. Stop. You know what? You are sick.
Yeah. Terrible.
Yeah.
Well,
you're known for saying outrageous things, Mr. Trump. Who are you, Woody Allen?
Number 3.
I'm saying illegal immigration is a tremendous problem in this country, and I want them out. I also feel we have to have a border.
I just want to be clear.
Yes.
Because not all Mexican immigrants are murderers and rapists. I just want to straighten that up. The best in your mind to get people to not be illegal anymore is to throw everybody out? How will you find everybody?
People have to go through a process. I want to have people come into the country, but they have to come in legally.
Number 2.
Somebody attacks you, should you attack back?
I believe yes, and I believe I could give you lots of examples, but if you're known as a patsy, if you're known as somebody that takes it, I think it's terrible.
But the ad hominem attacks, those really are not effective. Personal attacks, like you're fat, you have no talent, all the things he says. Why aren't they effective? Donald's been doing them. Well, because he's in a leadership position. I'm not sure that that's an effective way to attack your opponent.
Strange things happened over the last couple of years. It's called Twitter. And I have this account with millions of people.
Right.
And I've got all these, and I used to say I want to own a newspaper. This is better.
And the number 1 presidential review moment is...
You recently said about President Obama, I'm going to quote you, he grew up and nobody knew him. Nobody knows who he is until later in his life. The whole thing is very strange. What are you driving at there? Are you a Bertha, Donald?
Okay. Something on that birth certificate that he doesn't like.
Oh, my God.
That's
a terrible thing.
Just the Whoopi, I'm telling you. Tommy, I love you. I'm telling you.
I love you, too. I think that's the biggest pile of dog mess I've heard in ages.
Let me stop it right there, and I'm going to go back here. There was a time when America, talk show hosts, public figures, even the media, they loved Trump. Now they can't stand him for some strange reason. You know why they can't stand him? Because he's an outsider that's not bought and paid for, and he doesn't put up with bullshit, guys. And that's what they can't stand about him. They can't stand that an outsider, a businessman that's very successful, both inside of politics and the business sectors, stands up for the American worker and businessman and just plain old everyday average Joes and Jills of this country. And that's what's destroying and making these liberals insane. Literally. Now, this is what The View has to say about Trump now. Let's check this out.
It's really weird to watch that over the years. It's very weird to watch it, but you guys actually you two seem to get along with me. Says I love you to Whoopi at the end.
Well,
What's the
people
biggest
say
difference?
all kinds of stuff, and the person who began running is not the person I knew.
But Joy, you do too. Sometimes you get frustrated with this president, but you were also friends with him. You went to one of his weddings.
I wasn't friends with him.
No?
Don't get carried away.
You went to his wedding.
I went to his wedding because my manager was working with him, and that's how I got to go to his wedding. I wasn't friends with him.
Would you be his friend now?
I don't want to make Putin jealous, Sonny.
We'll be back with more Hot Topics.
Yeah, now they can't stand the man. They think he's a bastard. And then did you hear Whoopi saying, he's not the man that I once knew after he ran for president. Because he was standing up for American liberties and freedoms, and liberals couldn't stand it. They thought when Trump got in, he was going to be just like all the other presidents before him. He was going to be another Barack Obama. He was going to be another George W. Bush, another Bill Clinton. No, Trump had to be different. Trump wanted to be different. Trump stood up for the American dream, and it's killing liberals, and that's what's making everyone in Hollywood, in the media, hate Trump. Because everyone in Hollywood, in the media, they loved Trump until he ran for president. Because once he got that power, folks, he did the right thing for all Americans. And it's driving them nuts. It literally is. Literally. It's driving Whoopi crazy. It's driving all these talk show hosts, all these people in this country crazy. And Joe Bear, oh, God forbid, I don't want to be his friend now. He's a bastard of a man. He's a bastard of a man. How politics change people. Oh, my God. For God's sakes. But isn't it interesting how in the first clip, Joy refers to him as an upstanding citizen. And then at the end, she wouldn't be his friend. Hypocrites, folks. That's what you call hypocrites. Literally. Nothing but hypocritical people that will do anything just to get their name out there. Now, guys, I want to, I know a lot of people like to hear Trump and they like to hear his name in media and, God willing, I think we all do. We all like to hear the Donald Trump changed his country for the good, folks. He really did. But in other news here, I want to get into a special trending article. Yes, trending. A report coming in that the White House officials are frustrated by the CDC's lack of data transparency, literally saying, where the hell are the data? Team Biden lashes out at media while the CDC hoards information. You got to check this out, guys. But I'll be right back after these words. I'm going to take another quick little break. I want to get into a new sponsor. So I'll be right back after these words, guys. You're not going to want to hear this miss this topic here, because this is a tongue twister of all angles here. You're going to want to hear this, guys. This is like, what the, you know what I mean? I'll be right back, guys. Hey guys, this episode today is brought to you by our good friends at Lulu Press. Head over to lulupress.com and check out their promo code for 15% all print products. That's right, 15% on all print products with promo code CREATOR15. Use that promo code now through August 15th and get your 15% off today at Lulu.
The Patriot Angle Podcast on demand.
All right, guys, here I want to get into this topic here. Literally, the Biden team is frustrated by the CDC's lack of data transparency. They want to know where the hell the data is. They don't want it. They don't want this COVID hysteria to end. No, they want to keep on going with it. Sooner or later, we're going to have Delta 2.0, Delta Severe, the wild Delta Airlines attack. We're going to have Delta 6.5. Folks, the Delta crap is going to go on. Christ, we're going to start having names from other things. No, folks, they want to continue this. They want the fear. They want the fear-mongering. They want people to be scared to death. They want to have control over our lives. They want us to tell when we can eat, where we can eat, when we can go outside, when we can socialize with our family and friends at gatherings such as barbecues, 4th of July celebrations, Christmas, Thanksgiving. Now they want all that to be controlled by their government. And they're willing to literally strip your liberties and freedoms away from fear-mongering, saying that if you don't get a vaccine, if you don't get the shot, you're going to kill grandma, you're going to kill your parents. What the hell is wrong with you for not getting a shot? You're un-American. You're not a patriot. Your freedom is more important than my freedom by staying unvaccinated? That's the message by this government, by this type of Democratic Party. So no, they will continue this, And if we still have this administration in office, you know damn well they're going to continue it. And folks, it's going to go on and on and on. This is not going to end. This is not going to end until we vote them out of office. And God willing, we need another candidate in office than Biden. Biden is destroying the democracy of this country. And a report here from the top Biden officials, they're growing frustrated with the lack of internal visibility into data being collected by the CDC. They want answers. They're like, what the hell is going on, guys? We need you to work harder. We need more fear. We need this, we need that. I want. I mean, folks, this is nuts. Really nuts. According to a report earlier today here on Monday, revealing a source told the publication that's where the tension is. They want to know where the hell are the data. They want more data to be literally brought into the American people. They want more numbers. They want more cases. They want the media to rack up the deaths every day to show people, oh yeah, maybe this is a real pandemic. Maybe we should go get vaccinated. Folks, they're doing anything that they can to literally trick people into getting the vaccines. And they'll do anything that they can. Just literally think about this 1 second, folks. Think about it. Just think. Think, right? This is the country we live in. Just think. We live in a country which is incapable of telling us the percent vaccinated or unvaccinated who require hospitalization for COVID. No less. Any more data about them. Or track breakthrough infections. According to the CDC Executive Vice President of Scripps Research, Eric Topol. He tweeted that out about earlier today on his Twitter page. But virologist John Moore told Axios that countries with centralized healthcare systems, get this, they have advantages here, he said. The U.S. doesn't work like that. This is an old problem. Nothing to do with today's CDC, he concluded. Folks, can you believe this mess? How the hell did we come as a country today? How did we come to this point? I'll get into that later in the show. I know. But I'll save that later into today's show. Maybe I'll wake up some of my listeners and some of my people that do tune into the show that might be a little, with all due respect, little dumbfounded, that don't know right and wrong, common sense and, idiocy. I'll enlighten you how we came to the point we are as a country. Folks, while the CDC released its last data dump in April, before the Delta variant, remember the Delta variant? This new variant now of COVID called the Delta variant. It's been a hot topic for the last 2 months now. Foreign data dumps have occurred from the Public Health of England, the Imperial College London, and from South Africa, according to these foreign data dumps. I guess that's where the Delta variant came from, England, London, and possibly South Africa. We don't know. Some don't even know where it came from. We're still trying to get answers. Literally, we're still trying to get answers from the CDC, from Dr. Doom Fauci. We want to know. We demand to know where this came from. Did it come from Wuhan? Did it come from a bat? Did it come from outer frickin' space? Did it come from a hole in the ground somewhere? Did it come from aliens? I mean, God knows we want answers. We want answers. Because 1 and 1 still equals 2, right? I mean, the last I checked, right? 1 and 1 equals 2. 2 plus 2 equals 4, right? We get the monologue, right? We want answers. We want to know where the hell this crap came from. And they still can't give us answers. But all the little sheeple out there, they'll go get their damn vaccine. They'll line up. They'll roll up their sleeves and get the jab. Because Grandpa Joe said it's the right thing to do. Yeah. I can tell you what the right thing to do is. You want secure of your freedom and liberties? It's time to fight back against the liberal machine that is running this country. That's the right thing to do. But don't tell a liberal that, because they'll look at you with 5 different heads. No, we have to get vaccinated. They want us to get vaccinated. Delta's now here. Celta will be here next month. Corona 2022 will be here the following month. SARS 6.9 will be here in October, November time. Folks, this is getting old. When the hell is this crap going to go away? It's going to go away when you stop electing simple-minded morons that want nothing but a power trip over the American people. Yeah. But according to Ben Wacken, vaccinated people do not transmit the virus at the same rate as unvaccinated people. And if you fail to include that contents, you're doing it wrong. What? Wait, what? What? This is coming from, the New York Times? Breaking news that the Delta variant is as contagious as chickenpox and may be spread by vaccinated people as easy or as easily as the unvaccinated, according to an internal CDC report. Oh my God. Folks, this is a bunch of baloney. Literally a bunch of baloney. Stupid nonsense. Stupid. But in other news, oh, it gets worse, folks. It gets a lot worse. Did you hear the story now that Biden wants to mandate coronavirus vaccines for military by mid-September? Can you believe that garbage? Our military, which, by the way, gained its respect under President Trump, wasn't depleted anymore, earned respect on the world stage, now being looked at as an embarrassment again under this president, right? He wants to mandate vaccines for the military by mid-September. So next month, by the middle of next month, y'all that are enrolled in the military better roll up those sleeves, fellas, because Grandpa Joe wants you to get vaccinated. For the goodness of the sake of your country. That's a good slap in the face for the men and women who serve this country. Protect our freedoms and our liberties every damn day. Telling you. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, right, will make coronavirus vaccines mandatory for all members of the military by mid-September, or immediately upon Food and Drug Administration approval, whichever comes first, he says, according to a memo he issued on August 9th. Bunch of garbage. Bunch of garbage. As many of you know, Biden, and this is what he writes here, the Department of Defense, the Secretary Austin, this is what he writes. As many of you know, President Biden asked me to consider how and when we might add the coronavirus disease 2019 vaccines to the list of those required for all service members. So over the last week, I have consulted closely with the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the secretaries of military departments, the service chiefs, and medical professionals. I appreciate greatly the advice and counsel they provided. Based on these initial reports and additional discussions with leaders of the White House COVID task force, I want you to know that I will seek the president's approval to make the vaccines mandatory no later than mid-September or immediately upon the U.S. Food and Drug Agency licensure, whichever comes first. I'm telling you, folks, if it doesn't get worse, it gets crazy and chaotic. Where the hell is our country going? Where is it going, folks? Where is it going? It's terrible. Terrible. Literally crazy. Now, did you hear the Fauci now wants to defend masking? He's standing behind it. He's literally standing behind it. He's defending his statement that masking K to third graders, literally starting to see pediatric hospitals get more and more younger people. So now he wants to have more younger children, as young as kindergarten to third graders, to wear masks. And he says if they don't want to wear a mask, then I guess it's back to digital learning. Like that, folks, that destroys the youth. It destroys the social skills that a child is supposed to develop at a young age. I feel bad for these kids. I literally do. Masking, folks, I went on and I gave you my own personal opinion on the masking of children, along with other politicians, such as DeSantis, that's strongly against it. This mask has to end, folks. It cannot become the new normal in this country. It's destroying everything. Our bedrock principles. It's destroying our democracy. It's making us fight against one another. I literally have friends and family members literally against me on some of my own personal opinions, saying I'm wrong and you shouldn't criticize people that want to wear a mask. It's America. I'm allowed to criticize anybody I damn well please. It's called freedom of speech, people. Use it. Why is it that people are so willing to give up their liberties and freedoms just on a drop of a hat? Well, we remember the riots and protests last year, right? From Black Lives Matter and Antifa willing to stand up with the so-called I can't breathe crap. Remember that? In reference to George Floyd that was murdered last summer? They stood up for that. Where is the American patriots at that are willing to stand up? I know you're all out there. Don't be afraid. Show your honor. Show your patriotism. It's time to fight back, guys. We have to do this to secure our liberties that's being hijacked by this dictator in office. It's time, folks. We have to stand up. We have to, or this country is going to be swallowed whole.
Michael Gardner, a host like no other. Unfiltered, unhinged, unscripted, raw.
Infections tend to be mild and not severe.
But what about all the vaccinated people who get the breakthrough infection? Can they pass it on? Could they pass it on to their children? Could they pass the virus on to older people, especially more vulnerable people with underlying health conditions?
And that's exactly the point that we made in our guidance. So yes, they can with the Delta variant, and that was the reason that we changed our guidance last Tuesday. Our vaccines are working exceptionally well. They continue to work well for Delta with regard to severe illness and death. They prevent it, but what they can't do anymore is prevent transmission. So if you're going home to somebody who has not been vaccinated, to somebody who can't get vaccinated, somebody who might be immunosuppressed or a little bit frail, somebody who has comorbidities that put them at high risk, I would suggest you wear a mask in public indoor settings.
Especially if there is a breakthrough case, you get COVID, you're fully vaccinated, but you are totally asymptomatic, you could still pass on the virus to someone else. Is that right?
That's exactly right, and that's where our masking recommendation came from.
It's so important, these masks. We're learning the FDA could lay out a national strategy, Dr. Walensky, for COVID-19 booster shots in early September, just in a few weeks. What will this strategy look like? Who will be eligible for these boosters first? All of us who got 2 shots, we might need, after 5 or 6 months, a 3rd shot.
We're looking at those data carefully. Those data include looking at clinical cohorts, our clinical trials, cohorts from across the country, our essential workers, long-term care facilities, healthcare workers who are vaccinated early. And we're working closely with the FDA following those data, and we'll come up with a plan soon in September.
And do you think that before that will happen, the emergency use authorization for these vaccines will be changed to complete and full authorization?
That lies squarely with the FDA, but I know that they're working very hard in order to get that full.
Oh, you ain't working very hard, I tell you that. If they, folks, let me stop right there. Did you just hear her correctly? Maybe I didn't hear her correctly. But did you hear them correctly? That was CDC Director Walensky, Rochelle, right? Saying that vaccines can't prevent transmission with Delta, this new variant of COVID. So, if the vaccines can't prevent the transmission, right, with the Delta, why are people getting the vaccines? I get it, to protect themselves from COVID, but if it's only protecting themselves from COVID and not protecting themselves with this new variant of Delta, like, what are they just gonna? They're gonna keep on rolling up their sleeves? Now they're talking about booster shots by September, a 3rd, a 4th, a 5th. Folks, these people are nuts. They want you to get vaccines after vaccines. Just keep on jabbing those arms, folks, with the needles. Yeah, keep on jabbing the needles in the people's arms, right? If this thing is supposed to be the world saver of a pandemic, a virus, a disease, of a survival rate of 99.99%, right? Now, let me say this so there's no confusion here. So I don't get, oh, Mike, what are you talking about? You can still get, listen, let me stop right here and tell you. The survival rate of the 99.99%, just shy of 100%, damn near survival, high survival rate of a global pandemic. Okay, the survival rate is mainly for people that have good immune systems, high energetic immune systems, meaning that they could, get a little sniffle, a cough, maybe a cold for a day or two, and it's out of their system within a day or two. Some of these people don't even take medication. They fight it off the old natural way. Like my mother used to say, my grandparents would say the same thing. A little Jewish penicillin would do the trick. Yeah, that's a little Campbell's soup and a lukewarm bath, or a shower if you prefer that. Take a nap, a couple hours later you wake up, you feel fine. Yeah, Jewish penicillin works every single time. Don't tell the liberals that. Oh no! We have to take vaccines! They're telling us we have to take a booster shot by September. All the little sheeple out there will line up at the local pharmacies, roll up them sleeves, and get the first set of jabs. They will. They will. Trust me, they will. Me? No. Because I can tell you, and I'm proud to say this, I haven't got my first, my second, or my booster shots yet. I guess I'm doing pretty damn good, right? Walked around people with and without masks on. Probably had COVID, Delta 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, Delta 4, Delta 5, whatever the hell it's called now. Probably had all that crap. Am I still alive? Yes. You know why I'm still alive? Because I use common sense and I'm not a stupid moron. Common sense will cure anything in this world. I've said it time after time. Telling you. When the simple-minded idiots will listen, it's on me. But go ahead. Continue to roll up them sleeves. Continue. Continue to roll up the sleeves. Now there's a new headline coming out of, the vaccine hysteria. That's what I'm going to name this show today, because it doesn't seem to end. That MSNBC's Wallace, right? From MSNBC's Wallace, the talk show host, is saying that if kids aren't in school, it's because Republicans didn't get vaccinated. The hell kind of crap is this? Yeah. That was your anchor there from the show. Nicole Wallace said on Thursday on her show Deadline that Republicans are not getting vaccinated will be to be blamed if coronavirus's cases surge as children return to classrooms this fall, causing another shutdown of in-person learning. This is the liberal nightmare that is running our country. Literally. Check this out, guys.
Teachers, leaders, and influencers with 200-some vaccination events hosted by more than 90 organizations and schools. The Biden administration's final sprint also includes pop-up vaccination clinics at schools and incorporating COVID shots into back-to-school sports physicals and pediatricians into PTA meetings. Joining our conversation is A.B. Stoddard, associate editor and columnist for Real Clear Politics, and Jonathan Lemire is back with us as well. A.B., one of the bright spots was that a lot of schools did figure this out. Schools did figure out how to get kids in the classroom, which I think is universally shared as a goal for all school-age kids. And they figured out how, with masks and social distancing, to do it. Now they have this extra tool, a superpower tool, the vaccine. It seems crazy that the levels of vaccinations, let me put them up so that we're dealing in fact.
Folks, why the hell are we still dealing with this crap? I mean, why are we literally blowing a pandemic up that has a survival rate so high? Like, why? Why are we not hearing more diseases that are more fatal, such as cancer and heart disease? They're so ready to force vaccines on people's throats. Literally, almost at martial law with this crap. I mean, seriously. These Democrats are willing to go to martial law and cause another shutdown. Why aren't we talking about serious stuff, such as cancer and heart disease? Why? Like, that doesn't even get talked about. More people that die from heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and other fatal diseases and viruses out there. But that doesn't get talked about from the mainstream media. Doesn't get talked about by the Biden administration. Doesn't get talked about by the CDC. That's just cured. It's cured. I guess it was cured overnight last March, right? We don't even hear that. We don't hear any of that. So now they want to literally push parents. And I feel bad for the parents out there, guys. I really do. I mean, these parents, God bless you, been put up with a lot of crap. I mean, some parents, all they want for their kids is good school choice and good educational learning. They're not getting it from this digital crap. You're trying to tell me that a child learns just as the same with digital learning as they do in-person learning? If you believe that, there's something wrong with you. Not every child has the same learning capacity in their brain to learn on a digital scale than an in-person type learning. Not every child has that. Some children have learning disabilities where their brains only function a third of a time while learning that material. So some of them require in-person learning. They can't contrast the type of material or content being shown on a computer screen. Their brains don't work that way. They don't function that way. But according to the CDC and the Biden administration and who did it last Saturday, I mean, they think it's just the same. Some of these kids are left back, which I personally know a few that got left back this year. Terrible. The kids have to repeat the grade again because they failed. Because they're in digital learning. I feel bad for these kids. These kids are going through hell. They're not socializing with their friends. I can imagine some of these kids. You know? A 4 or 5-year-old, 6-year-old going up to their mom and say, "Mommy, how come I can't play with Sarah? Daddy, how come I can't go hang out with Peter? Mommy, why isn't Sarah allowed to go outside?" Can you imagine some of the children that ask the questions to their parents? Can you imagine the parents not knowing an answer to give their own children? Folks, this is tyranny, what's going on in this country. We are literally at war. And we are literally at the breaking point for our own democracy in this country. Literally. But they want to mask the children. They want to mask the children. Oh, it's got to be done. It's got to be done. Mega governor, we all gotten to know him over this year, Ron DeSantis of the great state of Florida, on why isn't CDC studying harmful effects of masking kindergartners for 7 hours? Yeah. How come that's not being mentioned on mainstream media, huh? The harmful effects of a masking of a kindergartner? A child of like 5-6 years old for a portion of 7 hours? There's real harmful effects there. Oh, yes, there is. Yes, there is. We're seeing reports of children passing out from all types of wild, crazy, unacceptable behaviors of mask mandates in some of these school districts. Listen to this.
Governor, 6 attorneys in Tampa Bay are planning on filing a lawsuit in the coming days challenging your executive order banning mask requirements in schools. I just spoke with them a little bit ago. They said that it's unconstitutional optional because it should be left up to school boards. What is your response?
So the legislature passed a Parents' Bill of Rights that I signed into law about a month and a half ago and laid down the law in the state of Florida is that parents have the fundamental right to raise their children, their health and well-being, and that has to be respected by the state at all levels of government. And so it's our belief that this should be a parent's choice. I think it flows directly from that bill, and I think we'll end up winning to do. At the end of the day, as a parent, I would like that choice. Particularly for young kids, many of these kids, by the way, have recovered from COVID, and so there's really no scientific justification to put it on at that point if there is to begin with. But I think a lot of the parents would just want to have that ability. And they've had all this time to study. What are the harmful effects of putting a kindergartner in a mask for 7 hours? Have they talked about the emotional, the academic, the physiological? Why isn't CDC studying that? They've had a lot of time to do it, but yet you don't do it. And to act like somehow that this is just something that we shouldn't worry about, I don't think is acceptable. So I think the fairest thing to do is just say let parents make the decisions. I can tell you from having a whole school year under our belt, because you remember we were the only large state that had 5 days a week in person from the beginning of the school year for the whole year. We had about 60% of school districts in Florida had mask requirements. About 40% did not. Most of the charter schools did not have those requirements, and most private schools did not. There's the no mask mandate counties had lower per capita cases. So certainly you can't show any type of causal relationship there. And so we did that. I mean, we had the whole school year, and you can look at all these different jurisdictions and see how it was performed. So we believe that the Parents' Bill of Rights was a good bill to sign, and we believe because the legislature passed that, providing parents with this choice flows directly from that. Did
you just hear that? It's gonna blow your mind. That 40%, folks, in the state of Florida did not require mask mandates for charter and private schools. And guess what, folks? That 40% had a low COVID data. Yeah. It was hardly no COVID cases within those 40% of students not masking up. I'm sure it's gonna piss the CDC off. Oh, no, their data's wrong. No. Some of the children had COVID. Some of them, yeah, you're right. Some of them had COVID. But it went in their body and literally came out, literally, it went through their body and literally came out the other end. Folks, it's quite frank, right? That what if this whole country got shut down? Right? Just hear me out, okay? Because I'm running out of time here. I got to close it up here soon. What if this whole country got shut down for nothing but a just bad case of the common cold flu, right? I'm sure there's a series of family of coronavirus. It's made up mainly of a family of a lot of different variants and a lot of different strains. Yeah, some are more severe, some are less severe, some are weakened, some are stronger than the other strain of it. But let's just say, what if this country got shut down for a really bad case of the flu or cold, right? And a lot will disagree. A lot will disagree with me and say, Mike, that's crazy. Why would a country shut its entire system, its entire economy, everything, its way of life? Why would they shut it down? Why would they do that to themselves? Why would the world do that to themselves, right? Other countries following in America's footsteps, shutting down their economy, shutting down everything, right? Why would countries do that? Why? It's all a power trip, folks. All one big power trip. It's the world order. It's the new world order. It's their biggest dream, to have power, control over the people. Because trust me, when you're in power, No one wants its own people to have power over them. Like I said, it's one big power trip. And until you keep on bowing down, putting those masks on, getting the next set of boosters that they tell you that you should get because it's patriotism, it's being an American, it's caring for one another. Folks, it's just a pipe bomb, a pipe dream. It's bullshit. You think they care about you? You think these vaccination companies care about you? These pharmaceutical companies care about you? They can care two shits about you. All they care about is racking in that money. Oh, Mike, no, the vaccines are free. No. Nothing is free in this world. Everything comes from something. Nothing is free. Everything comes from one entity, one system. It's coming from something. It could be coming from your tax-paying money. It could be coming from different types of hedge funds, from private companies. It's coming from a source of income, a source of money. Nothing is free. They can care two shits about you. When you wake up and you understand that, then everything goes back to normal. You want normalcy back in this country? Stand the hell up and fight for your country. Stop literally being on the threshold of giving up your freedom just like that. Stand up for what you believe is right. Because what's going on in this country is not right. And I tell you right now, I can promise you that the good conservative people of this country, the true patriots of this country, will not stand for it. Because mark my words, I'm not making any threats, but I'm giving you promises. And you can look at this when that happens and say, wow, I heard that from the Patriot Angle podcast. Folks, we are one lockdown from another modern day civil war. I'm telling you right now, if they lock down this country because people don't want to get vaccinations, people don't want to put masks on, people don't want to social distance, because that's what's going to happen, folks. People are going to get fed up, they're going to start fighting, and they're going to start standing up for their liberties and freedoms, because that's what America is all about. We are not a third world nation. We are not a socialist nation. We are not a communist country. We are a free country under laws, liberties, and freedoms. Thank you very much for tuning in today, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Patriot Unfiltered. You just heard an episode of the Patriot Angle podcast, an Anchor platform.